Greetings, Earthlings. I had some thoughts I wanted to share today. Because, one, I've really just been coming to terms with like this whole New Year's energy. For me, the New Year don't start on January 1st. That's not the New Year. It's a continuation of winter. I don't know. But I was thinking how everybody's just be so hell-bent on being like productive, hell-bent on having something to show, hell-bent on showcasing something or being the quickest, the newest, to have the best, and so much ego. And I was thinking, like, what if the answer to our problems as a collective or a nation is truly rest? Rest is resistance. Not being of service, not being able to be used, not trying to be the most innovative, the most, telling, knowing, not to be the sharpest in the room, not going out of your way type shit. What if that's resistance? And like for me, I speak on it from a personal level because I'm used to always going above and beyond for people because that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted people to be happy. I wanted them to feel love. I wanted them to have whatever the fuck they was missing. I was going out of my way trying to perform Jesus level fucking miracles for people. And this last year, last really 2 years, I've been forced to not be of service, not to be useful, to not have anything that anybody would want. And the way that shit changed my reality. The way that it changed, the way that I thought about everything and everybody, I had to go through the 7 stages of grief to mourn the reality I existed in. Even though I still want to exist in that reality, I have to take into account that a lot of people do not think like I think. A lot of people don't move how I move, and their thoughts and their actions literally could dictate whether or not I live the next day. And that's something, like, I guess as maturing into an adult that is really scary for a lot of people and what forces people to do. Fear is the thing that perpetuates our reality and gets people to do the same shit that their parents have done. Because I promise you, growing up in like middle school, I'm reading Black history, Georgia history, reading about wars, world history by the time I get in 9th grade or whatever, and all I'm seeing is fucking patterns. Societal patterns. Birth out of fear. Birth out of people being forced to do shit that they don't want to do and creating systems and structures that they now have to thrive and live off of because of the fear that you're going to be killed if you don't. And that's what colonialism and imperialism is. And that's the structures that we suffer under today. You could convince yourself that being the richest motherfucker in the room, having the highest paid clothes and all that shit makes sense. But then you think about it. I think about this shit differently for me personally because I make a lot of things with my hand. When you make shit yourself, you start really looking at the world like, okay, crazy. Because just think about it from this perspective for a second. Indulge me, right? Shopping is a coping mechanism. Going to the store, buying anything, you could say it's what you need. It's still a coping mechanism because before you'll sit down and educate yourself on how to make it with the resources that's naturally available, you're going to go buy it because of convenience, right? And then learning in economics what convenience is. It's a fee that you have to pay now because you have taken the labor that you could have took to take care of yourself, to create the things that you need for yourself and your family, to create whatever society needs, right? And this is another aspect that makes the world crazy and delusional to me is because we'll sit up and say shit like society, the government, and act like it's not a bunch of motherfuckers that look like me and you wearing the same motherfucking clothes, sitting behind cubicles and shit, pushing the decisions and things that change our reality from a political, economic perspective. Like, crazy. But this brings me back to the point of resistance. Like, think about it. When our great-great-greats and great-grandmas and all of them was coming out of, like, based off of the textbooks and stuff, coming out of slavery, learning how to make things with their own hands, learning how to work their own land, make their own food and shit like that. They started making laws to where black women couldn't raise their own kids. You had to have a job. Black men and women had to have a job type shit. They make laws to where we can't congregate and enjoy space between each other. They create parameters and enforce those parameters through violence, right? And that's why I'll be like, the biggest form of resistance is rest, not retaliation, not war, none of that, because they could walk up in your house and kill you, but that's far harder to explain than, well, all these niggas was rallying in the streets, so we had to off them. Like,